Aaron are the linesmen, okay?
Back in Salt Lake City, Utah for the round of 8. Luis Moreno up against Abraham Montijo. My name is Dave Vincent alongside David Fink.
Serve.
Let's listen for this announcement from Martin Mulcairns.
0 serving 0.
One game match at 25. Win by 2, halftime 15, play all bad bounces, and Abraham gets the first serve. These two play back in Tucson, Arizona. Abraham defeated Luis Moreno the other night in practice. I know it's only practice day.
Well,
but then in game 2, lost 21 to 18.
1 serving 0.
So he was able to get up there.
Well, you know, Abe is very comfortable playing Luis, and Luis, Dave, I can't say I knew exactly what he did before this event, but having lived in Tucson for the last month, he hasn't been training as seriously as I think maybe he'd like. He's been going down to Mexico and doing some work down there. He can't play handball while he's there. He's there for 6 or 7 days at a time. He comes back and plays handball for 2 or 3 days, but that's a lot of time off, Dave. And that's an inside-out kill. But, Dave, how incredible is it to see these two guys who started playing together in the same city, in the same program, now facing off in a pro race for 8. Amazing serve there from Luis, but quarterfinal. I mean, what are the chances of that, Dave? I mean, that's like, you know, Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras growing up at the same tennis academy. Of course, they were already great players when they got there, though. These guys started from scratch together and now playing one another. Luis is not putting the ball down, David. The Luis Moreno that we see completely dominate people and beat guys like Charlie Shanks and Sean Lenning in less than 20 minutes puts the ball down right now.
This is early here.
Well, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. It was early against Charlie Shanks in Alaska, Dave, when he won the first game in 6 minutes. So
Abraham Montijo told me that he realizes that he has to win every single match in this tournament in order to be invited to Seattle.
Actually, Dave, I believe he'll be invited with a finals appearance.
Okay.
So close.
Yeah. Well, maybe his realization was wrong, but nonetheless, he knows what he has to do.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm here to win this.
Replay.
Luis Moreno gets in his way
there. Check it. Two serving 1. Short. Second serve. Side away.
There is a side out. Moreno
1 serving 2.
Wearing the Army fatigue headband.
Oh, and Abe cannot miss that. You know, Dave, you talk about a contrast. Abe Montijo plays handball 4 hours a day, every day. Luis Moreno probably only plays 2 or 3 times a week.
But when he does play, it's like 6 to 9 games when he does work out. So they do have a little bit of different style. Abraham's on the court more than anybody that plays handball. But he limits himself to a couple to 3 games every time he works out. Moreno wants to go 9 or 10. He would go there as much as he possibly can. But then he'll take 2 or 3 days, 4 days off.
Oh, that would have been a great shot. I've never seen Abe go for that kind of shot, but I think that's the kind of shot he needs, Dave, to go to the next level. I mean, he's advanced to the next level as far as that top 14, but to go into that rarefied top 8, maybe some more of those touch shots. I know you have those shots, Dave, and you added those as you continue to improve.
Unfortunately, I began doing those shots, and when you learn a new shot, you start doing too much of it.
3 serving 2.
Some people do anyway. And then
short.
Then you kind of rely on it too much, and then it becomes a crutch.
Second serve.
I wish I wouldn't have learned the shot. Think of all the magazines I could have read during that time of wasting the time on those shots.
2 serving 3.
I wouldn't know. I read 15th century English literature in my spare time.
Good shot. Side out. Same score, 3 serving 2.
I think it's critical, Dave, as an opponent of Luis Moreno, to get off to a reasonably good start where he doesn't get that, and Abe somehow misses that, where Luis doesn't get that early 7 or 8 point lead and just kind of bury you.
2 serving 3.
Abe is in the lead here, and he's missed a couple real easy shots. Luis
Side
a
out.
little bit lazy there. Thought he'd take that off the back wall. Instead goes for an off-balance
serving 2.
left-handed fly kill, which he misses.
Short. Second serve.
Luis Moreno can play tough with Abraham.
Replay.
And has normally throughout their careers against each other. Abraham Montijo's been living in the shadow of Moreno in Tucson, Arizona, and he wants to break out of it.
2.
And he said, I'm going to qualify at every stop this year.
Short.
That was his goal, and that's exactly what he did. And he didn't always have the easiest draw, Dave. This tournament may have been the easiest of his run, and I think well-deserved because of all the time and travel and effort and money that he's spent. Flights and entry fees and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's expensive.
Traveled all around the country, and he finally made it here. But then, unfortunately for him, he's playing the guy he plays at home.
Well, fortunately for him, it's in the round of 8 and not in the round of 16. This is the first time Abe's ever been in the quarterfinals here. And believe me, Dave, as a player, you feel the different air in that new round. And it takes a little bit of adjusting because on one hand, you're just excited to be there. You say, look, I've been playing my whole life to get into the quarterfinals. And on the other hand, you say, well, you know, why not make the best of it?
Well, listen to this one, which I find kind of somewhat odd. Dan Armijo, who's now living in Yuma, Arizona, Dave. Okay.
5 serving 3.
Luis Moreno played him in his opening round. Yuma, Arizona, okay? Now he's going up against Abe Montijo, who lives just down the street from him in Tucson, Arizona. And if he wins this, we're talking about Moreno. If he wins this, he goes up against you, who live down the street from him as well in Tucson, Arizona. And if he goes on to play someone like Sean Lenning, whose second home is Tucson, Arizona. Sean Lenning lived there, you know, for the majority of all last year.
What you're saying is that Arizona's a handball factory.
Serving 3.
It's a handball factory.
Yeah. I was kind of going with you on that.
Sean Lenning lived in Tucson all year last year.
Yeah.
And actually was being listed as a Tucson resident. He said, I don't know if I'll ever go back to Washington.
Well, that's a good shot from Luis. And, you know, Abe's struggling off the back wall. His swing is not fluid off the back wall. He's going with sort of a stiff arm underhand scoop as opposed to a smooth sidearm stroke.
8 serving 3.
Maybe, Dave, he's lost a little confidence, or maybe he's not seeing the ball really all that well. And I thought that serve was good.
He couldn't see it. Aaron. Short. Second serve.
Now it seems like these guys are taking the point off here, Dave. Just kind of hitting the ball right back and forth to each other, not even with a lot of pace. And you see that, Dave, both guys just hanging out in the front court. And Luis finally with a off-speed. What would you call that shot, Dave? I see you hit that shot pretty well, actually.
It's sort of a Dave Chapman shot, but Luis taught me to go
side away
around the mid-waist area when you do it. It's just a cutter.
3 serving 9.
Dave Chapman does the kind of the overhand flop shot into that corner, which is, I think, a higher percentage, I mean, lower percentage, really. But Dave makes it look like it's 100%. Moreno does a sidearm cutter. It's more of a big ball shot.
Replay. Check it there. 3 serving 9.
I don't think either guy right now playing at the top of his game. And that was a beautiful
side away
skinny V back wall pass. That was an offensive shot. I don't know if Luis is going for that deep crack there, but I think that's more of a two-way shot.
Score here is 9-3.
Great shot from Abe.
Side out. Three serving 9. Mark. 4 serving 9. Short.
Luis Moreno, Dave, comes into this event ranked number 2. A lot of people just assume that he's number 1 because he's won by far the most race events in the history of the race tour. In fact, he's won 7 out of 13 race events. but he's not number 1. And that, Dave, is because of that time he took off after the World Championships. You remember he came back from the World Championships in October, a little bit banged up. He had a bad hip and, you know, a bad shoulder. That's a good shot from Luis.
Side away.
You know, he ran into Alan Garner in the round of 8 there in Tucson, lost that match, lost 7 points. Then he decided not to play in Houston, so he lost another 10 points, so he threw 13 points away. It was Charlie Shanks who had some very poor finishes during that same stretch of the season last year, so he wasn't defending a lot of points. So Charlie Shanks actually picked up, as you see that, a lot of power there from Luis, but Charlie Shanks, Dave, picking up
Mark
27 points on Luis Moreno's lead, and he actually caught and passed Luis, and he's been in the lead ever since. And even though Charlie won Houston, Luis won the next 2 stops, Luis still finds himself in that second position.
Serving 4.
Now, Dave, those rankings are going to be really critical here after this event, because we've got some wild cards in the Players' Championship in Seattle, as we see a timeout from Abe Montijo.
1 minute, 12-4.
But, David, you almost don't want to be a number 1 or number 2 seed in Seattle, because number 7 is going to be Paul Brady. He'll play number 2. Number 8 is going to be Nadia Alvarado, who's never lost before the semifinals. He's a top 4-level player. So you're seeing potential finals in the first round at the Players' Championship, Dave? And that's just the way the cookie crumbles based on the rankings.
Just the way it is. I think the fans will be excited to see some top-level handball. Players maybe won't be happy with their seeds or how it all fares out, but they're still going to go, and they're going to celebrate this Players' Championship. But nonetheless, it's actually a good thing for handball.
30 seconds.
It's just that it's just a different year. I mean, I don't know what else you can say. It's the way it's all fared out. You see Martin Mulkerns. It's a true family event here in Salt Lake City, Utah, at the sports club. Our parents are bringing their kids down. It's such a family-friendly atmosphere that why wouldn't you? I know Baby Henry would be here, Dave.
Well, he'll be in Seattle. I just can't wait for that. He's, I think, alert enough now. He'll be crawling around the handball court for the first time if his mom lets him.
Well, down there on the floor with all that.
Well,
viruses, I highly. What's she gonna?
She'll actually be in touch with the maintenance staff to disinfect the entire facility.
Okay.
Every aspect of it.
Right.
Unfortunately, the 2 of them, Dave, are home sick right now because I brought home a virus that I still have.
Well, let him lay around the floor, and he'll be sick again by the time Seattle comes around.
We're building up his immune system.
For Seattle.
Yeah.
You might want to really build it before we go back to Fresno.
Side away.
Abraham gets a little side out right there with a sliding pass shot past
4 serving 12.
Past Luis Moreno. 4-12 here. Montijo wearing the white shirt. Moreno, that's what he does. He hits those balls after the play is over.
12.
Referee just allows him to do it. Players don't necessarily like it. I love it when he does it with me. It gives me more time to breathe. Also, drink out of my gravy ladle.
Side out.
And put on the court. Some people bring an alcoholic beverage. I have the ladle.
Well, you actually have both. You have an alcoholic beverage outside the court, gravy inside.
I have respect for the game.
5.
12-5. See who goes to that 15 first.
Replay.
And that's unfortunate there for Abe. I think you give Abe that shot there. Luis is pinned in front of him. Abe puts a great pass shot.
Score here, 12-5. Big setup right there. Montijo hits it right back toward the middle.
And somehow, Dave, Abe did not put either of those shots away and then loses a rally where he had 2 of the biggest setups that you could ever hope to have.
Well, the 3 shots that he hit should have all been put away.
13 serving 5.
And he almost put away the hardest one.
Oh, and now Abe, Dave, who scored 2 points, was getting himself back into this match, maybe closing the gap before halftime, is now really on the wrong end here.
It's a part of the game that Moreno
15, 3 minutes.
Has a better command of now, is that methodical up to the ceiling game. He said, I'll go up there, I just don't want to. But when he does, he's deadly. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break. We'll be back in just a bit. Stick around for the second half here at racefor8.com.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards.
Oh, don't. Oh,
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it comes.
oh no!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you. Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Zions, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
.30 seconds. Ten seconds. Is Anthony back? Anthony.
We are back live here for the conclusion of this game. Luis Moreno up against Abraham Montijo. Luis had the lead at halftime.
Luis to serve.
I don't know if you saw that gamesmanship there, Dave, but Luis not letting Abe warm up. He actually was screening him there. That was like a box out.
Time's in, guys.
They're old friends from the same neighborhood.
Are they old friends? Are they friends?
Yeah, they are friends.
Oh, I didn't know that. What's going on here, Dave? Are we waiting for a linesman?
Hey, Luis, it's time to go. Okay.
He's telling Luis it's time to go, but Abraham has the ball. 15-5 here as we now get underway.
Great serve from Luis.
So hard.
Yeah.
16, serving 5.
He
was
said
a perfect swing.
Just has to kind of guess and then also get out of the block as fast as he possibly can to get that serve back.
16-5.
You know, when Luis hits that perfect serve down the right, Dave, it's almost like it comes off a racket. And that's another great serve.
That had so much spin on it that ball should have checked and gone all the way around that siding.
17 serving
the back wall toward left to right. Instead it squelched back. Moreno's got an unbelievable hop right now, Dave. He is spinning this ball, and you have to call a timeout. I don't know if Abraham needs to necessarily leave the court.
Scores 18 serving 5.
Because Moreno's just going to go in there and keep hitting this ball. I don't see him leaving the court at all. Abraham's just getting the hell out of there. Going into the weight room and just saying, I'm leaving this whole facility. I mean, he's so frustrated with himself, but how could you be?
Well, you know, right now Luis is playing so strong that there's nothing anyone could do. But, you know, Abe had a lot of chances in that first half where Luis wasn't quite as sharp. Abe had opportunities. He didn't capitalize, and hence he found himself trailing 15-5. You know it's only a matter of time before Luis puts together a run of, you know, 8 or 10 points. I mean, you know that's going to happen, having played Luis and having watched him.
Look at that smile on Abraham's
30
face.
30 seconds.
He's kind of jotting with the crowd here. He said, you know, I'm just staying out here. He's going to just talk to the crowd here. I mean, what else can you do when the guy's serving like that? And Abraham knows it, too.
Well, you can go in and talk to your opponent, try and break that.
10 seconds.
Break that momentum.
Guess you could do that.
Okay,
you
that's
wouldn't do
time.
that.
The score is
You might do it in Liar's Dice, though.
I was playing a guy that had 3 straight aces, and I walked over to him and put my hands on his shorts and just pulled him all the way down to the ground in front of everybody.
Side out.
Well,
But I handled, the gamesmanship a little bit different.
Well, I was playing a
5
guy that
serving
had
18.
3 straight Yahtzees, old-fashioned Yahtzees,
Uh-huh.
without wilds,
That's
with 5
old-fashioned.
dice.
Okay.
Mark.
Oh, we're talking about handball.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Not liar's dice, which you are very good at, by the way.
6 serves 18.
Well, I wasn't last night. Like to say hello to my mom, Dave, who signed up as a new member. She's loving the webcast.
So she's the one.
Just text message
Mark.
me.
Well, we had one like.
7 serving 18.
That was hello, Dee Dee. DV says hi to DD.
Huh.
Replay.
Ooh, that's a toughie, but it is the right call.
Think he could have got it.
I don't know why the referee has
No,
to
he didn't need to say that.
say that. He will be fined for
7
that.
serving
Oh,
18.
he's an amateur, though. How do you find an amateur?
It's
Take away his breakfast?
No, you can take their
Free
money.
breakfast?
Short.
You can take their money. You just can't give them any money.
Second serve.
I don't know about that. I don't think they fine NCAA athletes.
They do with
Side out.
suspensions and
Well, that's what I'm talking about, the suspensions.
18 serving 7.
There's various penalties you can give
Short.
an amateur, including sleeping in the hall, the hotel.
Second serve.
That's a terrible shot from Luis. And this is just sloppy handball here, Dave. And
Side
Luis
out.
has to give him the whole court there because he hit the ball right down the middle. And Abe hit the right shot.
7 serving 18.
Oh, look
nice.
at that.
Ooh.
Looks
Mark.
like Abe learned something from his old buddy from South Tucson.
8
Ripped off a
serving
huge
18.
natural there. I don't think either of us saw that coming. Look at Luis take that with his left. And
Side out.
but it's
Abe
so
a little
calm.
bit flat-footed there.
He's so casual when he takes it like that.
18 serving 8.
It's a Dean serving 8.
Oh, an amazing serve there from Luis. I don't know how Abe gets that back. Luis goes for some showtime. Maybe you leave that to Sean Lenning.
Side out.
Yeah,
8 serving 18.
I went there.
Well, you might want to leave there. We have a lot of Moreno fans listening to this. In fact, they're the same fans that are also
Mark.
watching Abraham Montijo make a couple points here on this
9
run.
serving 18.
9 to 18 in my pre-qualifying match. I was down 9 to 18 at one point in this tournament. Yeah, you're right. I'm talking about
Side out.
myself.
Yeah. I want you to talk about yourself more. I'm
And-
interested,
And
actually.
came back to win. So anything can happen, and that's the only reason why I
18
made that
serving
segue, is
9.
because Montijo, he was in the same spot that this guy was, and it can happen. Now, I wasn't playing a guy like Moreno, though.
But pretty close.
Yeah, they both wear gloves.
Side out.
There's another side out, Montijo. Let's see if he can break off another one of those natural hooks. This time, I think
9 serving 18.
Moreno's going to be waiting for it. Montijo has a good natural
Short.
hook, too, down that left wall.
Luis is somewhat susceptible to
Second serve.
the hop. Doesn't always read it all that well. Not a good shot from Luis. Abe should have shot that. And now Luis just hitting balls right back at Abe.
That's a punch fist right there. Unbelievable
Side out.
sidearm. When most players would go down with an open hand, he actually just took his little fist and just punched it.
18 serving 9.
It's a little
Time.
poke fist, I call it.
Our referee calling the score before Abraham was ready, but I wouldn't even call that a punch fist, Abe. That's a
18 serving
sidearm
9.
fist over
Yeah,
the
just-
top.
Little
Short.
spike. That was a short. Moreno might appeal, but
Apparently, Dave, there's some echo in our
Second serve.
microphones. I don't know if the truck can hear that, but I've been informed
well, that must be frustrating for some,
for that person watching.
for someone, I should say.
And Luis looked like he
Side
could have
out.
had that, but
I guess there's listeners that are.
listener.
9 serving 18.
Referees,
Short.
excuse me, someone at home saying that they hear a reverberation,
Yeah.
a flange
Anthony?
sound.
Second serve.
I call it water hall. It's a hallway of water. That's kind of that echoing sound. And Linda, our director,
Side
says
out.
somebody has maybe a live broadcast turned up in the gallery right now
Same
next
score.
to the
18 serving
microphone
9.
of the referee, and that might be just catching us that way, but
Short.
we'll have to look into it.
Yeah.
Second serve.
By we, you mean me walk over there?
Yeah, well, I'm not,
Well, maybe you could tell our listener why you can't walk over there. What disease or what condition prevents you from doing that?
Well,
Side away.
I have a social disorder.
Yeah.
It's been properly diagnosed by a doctor, but I was afraid to actually leave my house to go to that doctor.
Yeah.
9 serving 18.
It's actually part of my Asperger's, but
Uh-huh.
that's become such taboo these days. Everybody has Asperger's. I had it before it was popular.
Yeah.
Still 18 serving 9.
We're just going back and forth here at 18 and 9. Watch
And
this. That's a
that,
fist.
I knew that wouldn't work.
Well, usually does.
Wow.
Moreno just compacting his feet, not having to run much here. Just standing toward the middle of the court, floating around. And then he does that to the ball, and the crowd loves it. Putting their hands together for that Luis Moreno kill shot off the back wall.
The fan loved it.
19 serving 9.
Well, I'm talking about in the gallery.
Yeah, the fan.
And I'm actually glad that they're playing this live broadcast in the gallery.
Yeah.
Because that means there's 150 people.
20 serving 9.
151 now that are
yeah.
near the broadcast.
Mark.
And now some quick points. Abraham stubs his middle finger there into the
21 serving
ground.
9.
Well, he'll need that middle finger, Dave, for when he addresses you.
Because
Sorry.
Why?
I'm not, actually. I take it back. I apologize.
Abe's my buddy. He's my text buddy.
Mm.
We have a relationship over satellite.
Mm.
Timeout. 2 left.
You and I used to have that until I stopped responding to your texts.
Timeout.
Now I just hate your guts. It's 22-9 according to the scoreboard with Luis Moreno in the server's box. Montijo
Yeah, man, I gave you that
just
job.
not doing well here.
What's going on?
Looked like he was scoring a couple points, but Moreno's just floating around the court, and that's why we call him the natural. He makes it look so easy.
Yeah.
No.
You see similarities. You played with pretty much all these guys, or at least watched them. Are there any similarities between Moreno and Tati Severa?
I knew you were going to go there.
Well, I was actually not going to. I just changed it because I wanted to ask another question. As
Yeah.
my
30
follow-up.
seconds.
Okay.
You see, I mean, Tati's prime and Luis, is Luis a little bit more fluid?
Well, you know, Toddy is very similar to the Luis that we saw in Denver and also in Anchorage, but I never saw Toddy sort of go into junk time. You know, you see Luis in junk time here right now. He's going for some,
10
you know,
seconds.
off-balance circus shots. And Toddy, to me, always was so intense. Every time he played, there was never a time he wasn't trying to just absolutely shut you out, 21-0 in every game. And I think when Luis...
The score is 22
is
serving
focused
9.
and he's in there to just destroy, you see a lot like Tati Silvera.
Now we're at 23-9. My real question was going to be
23
the similarities
serving 9.
between Luis in the server's box and Nadi Alvarado Jr. But I think your Tati Severa was so good that I'm just going to not ask that question.
Okay.
So let's strike that.
Okay. That's a great shot from Luis. How does Abe pick that up, though?
That's
and
what
Luis
Abe does.
is just going to keep pushing.
And Abe's going to keep getting. He'll get this one, too.
And Abe still alive here with a setup. And now it's Luis making a great get.
Oh.
And then Abraham misses the easiest one out of all of those.
Wow. 25 shots, some unbelievable.
That's a mark. 24 possible game points, serving 9.
I want to say hello to Bruce Handelman and Mark Gilmer watching this live broadcast.
So you're sandbagging me then.
Check
you said we had listener. And
well,
now it's confirmed.
You already know it's 151 at least.
Well, I don't know. I don't have my calculator, but it doesn't look like there's 151
I
people.
thought
24 serving 9.
There was. 24 to 9. And I know your mom's listening. That makes 151.
Okay.
Side away.
And now it's 152 and 3. Mark Gilmore and Bruce Handelman.
Yeah, that's nice.
And both of them say that
24.
the webcast sounds clear and there is no echo. So.
Well, my mom doesn't really know how to use a computer. Didn't want to say that, but I just did.
Well,
so
that's why you're not the favorite in the family. In fact,
side away.
As a kid, your mom hired the kid across the street to play your part in the home video.
Same score.
So that's why it doesn't look like
serving
me.
9.
That's why it doesn't look like you. And this could be it. That was called short, though.
Was that short?
I saw it short.
I saw it good.
So
He's
did I.
appealing. They both agree, so second serve.
Let's not go to replay because this is game and match point.
And Luis goes with a power second serve, and here's a setup for Abe. Luis will track that down.
Luis tracks everything down. There's that little paddle, that Shorty Ruiz paddle.
Oh, nice shot from Abe.
Side away.
You know you've hit a good pass shot when Luis doesn't even go for it.
9 serving 24.
Or as I call it, Wednesday.
Nice
Wow.
shot there from Abe.
Off balance and everything. Sometimes you're off balance and you just see the ball differently and it feels so good. Makes you say immediately to yourself,
24.
Dave, why don't I just kind of get in this position every time? I know you never talk to yourself.
I actually talk out loud. So I don't know if that's to myself. Everyone can hear it, so. Abe really struggling off that back wall. Oh, nice touch there from Luis.
Luis faked like he was going to power that ball, and that put Abraham right in his tracks. And then Luis went out and
You want to change your glove? What?
Abraham saying, I want to change my gloves, and then Luis says no.
The score is 24, serving 10.
Luis said, no, we're playing.
That's why the crowd loves Abe, Dave. Oh, nice cut there from Luis, and that ball hits the floor and straightens out, Dave.
And Luis Moreno takes down Abraham Montijo by the score of 25-10. And he now advances to face you, Dave, tomorrow morning at, I believe, 12 o'clock, or it's tomorrow afternoon, 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Sean Linning is going to go up against the winner of Charlie Shanks and Andy Nett. That one comes up in 28 minutes. We're going to take a break. We're going to be back in just a bit. You stick around. More handball action here live in Salt Lake City for the Race for 8. Stick with us.
Working and working out takes a lot of energy. That's why I drink Zenergy. Feeling fantastic and looking good has never been easier. Science, extreme science for your active lifestyle.
My name is Bruce Fabrizio. In 1975, I invented Simple Green based on 3 principles. It had to be safer to use, it had to work, and it had to be completely made in America. From generation to generation, Simple Green has been cleaning everything from car engines and tools to kitchen counters and floors. No matter what you clean, indoors or outdoors, clean it with non-toxic, biodegradable Simple Green.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's 1 every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards!
Oh, don't. Okay.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it comes.
Oh, no!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you. Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
So, what's it gonna be? We could ride bikes, skating, movies, zoo, whatever you guys want to do.
Can we just do this?
Yeah. We could just do this.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.